Good day, everyone. My name is Webster Chisa. Today, I will be the last reporter from our group and I will be discussing school-based programs. School-based programs is composed of six parts, and these are the physical environment intervention, the second one is the behavior management techniques, the third one is the positive reinforcement, the fourth one is the negative reinforcement, the fifth one is the timeout, and the last one is the punishment. Physical environment intervention is composed of four parts. The first one is the preparing the classroom layout. The classroom must have a very organized setting and must have separate areas for different activities. In addition, the student with an EBD or emotional and behavioral disorder must be seated in the center aisle of the seats or row so that the teacher will see the student immediately. Furthermore, put them away from the windows and doors so that they won't get distracted while learning. The second one is the setting the rules and expectations. The teacher must impose a very clear and easy to understand rules such as listen when the teacher is talking so that they will pay attention. Additionally, the teacher must post the rules in each corner to remind them. For example, the activities that they do every day to practice their daily routine inside the classroom. Lastly, the teacher must explain to the students, especially to the ones who have EBD, the consequences of the wrong actions that they will commit. The third one is the establishing the routines and procedures. The teacher must teach the students the proper ways of procedures and how to be organized, such as passing a notebook, papers, forming a line when going outside, and the cleaning routines every morning. Utilize things that can catch their attention, such as whistles and bells or other visual and auditory things. In addition, always repeat the routine so that the students will become familiar with it. Lastly, provide a peer assistant to the students who are having difficulty of maintaining or following the routine. The last one is the creating a positive ambience. Pay attention to the students, show them that you are listening and interested in what they're doing, and maintain eye contact with them. In addition, when asking questions, utilize only the what and how questions since they are a lot easier to answer. And we must refrain from asking the why question because it will be hard for them to answer those kind of questions. How was your day and what are you doing are good examples of what and how questions. Do your best to communicate with them and make them feel comfortable. The second part is the behavior management techniques. It is composed of two parts. The first one is the self-management. Students with EBD are trained to manage their emotions and are taught how to handle themselves while experiencing disruptive outbursts. In addition, there are two techniques and these are the following. Self-monitoring. The student observes and records the occurrence and non-occurrence of the desired behavior. Self-evaluation. The students will assess himself in relation to the standard or goal. Sometimes, they will compare their ratings to their teacher's rating of the same target behavior. The next part is the peer mediation and support. This part is composed of four parts and these are the following. The first one is the peer monitoring. The classmate or seatmate of the student with EBD will evaluate and record his behavior and tell him when it is necessary. The second one is positive peer reporting. They must report positive behavior to one another. The third one is the peer tutoring. A classmate can assist an EBD student with his academic and social skills. The last one is the peer support and confrontation. If a peer notices the student with EBD's good behavior, the peer must acknowledge and compliment him. On the other hand, if the student does an act that is inappropriate, the peer must confront him and tell him that it is not right and teach him some alternatives. The third part is the positive reinforcement. This technique is based on operant conditioning by B.F. Skinner 1904 to 1990, which states that behavior can be shaped by giving or delaying reinforcement. The following are the example of positive reinforcement. The first one is the praise. This can include social praise, personal notes, or positive or corrective feedback, just like things that can give encouragement to the students. The next one is the group contingencies or token economy. The students are asked to perform the target behaviors and skills, and when done successfully, they will be given tokens or points for doing a great job. In addition, the rewards can be an assignment pass, plus points, free time, stickers, and many more. Also, create a visual chart that can show the progress of the token points and explain to them what are the target behaviors that are being rewarded so that they will pay attention to those kind of behaviors. The last one is the award. Giving certificates or any symbolic object for doing a great job can encourage students, especially those who are very low performing or disturbed students. The fourth part is the negative reinforcement. This theory aims to help and encourage students to perform proper behavior and elude negative consequences. The following are the examples of negative reinforcement. Planned ignoring. Adults such as guardians and teachers must ignore any inappropriate behavior that may attract attention. The student will not stop engaging in inappropriate behavior if he still gets the attention of his peers. Also, his peers must ignore all of the unwanted behavior. And if the behavior is harmful, this is not the right technique to use. Lastly, the undesirable behavior gets worse before it gets better. Overcorrection. The student is engaged in repetitive behavior as a penalty for his inappropriate actions. There are three types and these are the following. Number 1. Restitutional. The student must restore the environment to its previous states or improve it. For instance, a student throws trash on the floor. He should pick up the trash that he threw out and the other trash that he can see on the floor. Second one, positive practice. The student repeats the appropriate behavior. Using the example above, if he throws trash on the floor, he must pick it up, put it in the trash bin, and repeat it many times so that he can master it. The third one is the negative practice. The student must repeatedly demonstrate the incorrect behavior. For example, the student is always out of his seat. As a result, his chair will be removed from him. The fifth part is the timeout. The student is being removed from the positive reinforcement because of his undesirable behavior. For example, if the student blurts out the answer during a group game, he will be disqualified in the next round. If the student continues to exhibit undesirable behavior, he will be removed from his group. But if his behavior still persists, he will be placed in a separate place. In addition, before implementing the timeout, consult the school administrators and inform the parents about the procedures and policies at the start of the school year. A. Describe the behavior that may result in a timeout, explain the rules to the class and post them in a classroom. B. Give warnings to the student before instituting a timeout. C. Explain directions for going to a timeout, proper behavior during the timeout, and the procedure for returning the timeout. D. Keep a timeout logbook to monitor the student's behavior. The last part is the punishment. According to Quinn et al. 2002, the theory of punishment is that when negative behavior will decrease if it is pursued by something that the child recognizes as negative, like losing points in a token economy. Punishment focuses on what the child should not do rather than what the child should do. In addition, punishment should only be applied for the following instances. A. When the behavior is dangerous to the students and to others. B. When every other intervention has been appropriately implemented and failed. C. When the student is nauseous that it prevents them from learning or forming meaningful social relationships. And that ends our discussion. Thank you for listening.